Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The 2007 Elizabeth II 1 penny stands as a shining testament to craftsmanship, history, and rarity that has taken collectors by storm. What seems like a simple copper coin to the casual eye hides within it an extraordinary tale of royal heritage, minting perfection, and an unexpected twist that turned it into one of the most coveted treasures in coin collecting history. The year 2007 may not seem particularly distant in the timeline of British coinage, yet this penny carries a legacy that links back over a century to the roots of the decimalization era and the proud lineage of the British monarchy. When Queen Elizabeth II's portrait appeared on this penny, it wasn't just a royal image, it was a symbol of continuity. The monarchy had seen global change, shifting economies, and cultural revolutions, but her calm, regal presence on the coin reaffirmed Britain's enduring spirit. Produced by the Royal Mint, the 2007 1 penny continued the iconic design that the United Kingdom had embraced since decimalization in 1971. The reverse side featured the crown portcullis design, originally chosen by Christopher Ironside, a talented artist whose work defined decades of British coinage. The portcullis, a symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster, perfectly embodied the strength, dignity, and governance of the British Parliament. Its lattice-like bars and heavy chains symbolized security, protection, and the power of the state, fitting motifs for a coin that circulated through every hand in the nation. On the obverse, the familiar and graceful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley was displayed with meticulous detail. This version of her portrait, introduced in 1998, depicted the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a jewel with deep royal significance, originally gifted to her grandmother, Queen Mary. Rank Broadley's intention was to portray the Queen as both dignified and realistic, an image of maturity and wisdom rather than youthful idealism. His initials, IRB, can be found subtly beneath the portrait, marking one of the finest examples of modern royal coinage design. The coin itself was made of copper-plated steel, a shift that reflected the modernization of the minting process. Earlier versions had been made from bronze, but rising metal costs and technological advancements prompted the Royal Mint to adopt more cost-effective and durable materials. Despite this industrial change, the aesthetic of the coin remained classic, gleaming with that characteristic reddish-brown hue that collectors still adore today. But what makes the 2007 Elizabeth II 1 penny truly remarkable isn't just its design, it's the small details, minting variations, and rare misstrikes that have captivated the world of collectors. Every year, millions of pennies are produced by the Royal Mint, yet a few carry subtle errors or anomalies that make them extraordinarily rare. These include double strikes, off-center impressions, and the wrong die pairings. In the case of the 2007 1 penny, a handful were accidentally struck with a misaligned die, leading to a slightly off-centered portcullis design. For most people, these imperfections went unnoticed, but for numismatists, they were golden discoveries, minute differences that transformed an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. Another point of intrigue lies in the minting numbers themselves. Although the 2007 1 penny was minted in significant quantities for general circulation, the Royal Mint also produced limited sets for collectors, often as part of annual proof collections. These proof coins were struck multiple times with specially prepared dies, creating sharp, mirror-like surfaces and crisp details that regular circulation coins could never match. The result was a stunning miniature work of art, where every line of the portcullis, every lock of the Queen's hair, shimmered under the light. Owning one of these proof editions from 2007 feels like holding a royal relic in your palm. As collectors across the globe turned their attention to modern British coins, the Elizabeth II penny began to gain newfound respect. For many, it symbolized the end of an era. Only a year later, in 2008, the reverse design of the penny would change entirely, replaced by Matthew Dent's innovative Shield of the Royal Arms series. This shift meant that the 2007 penny became one of the last in the line to carry Ironside's historic portcullis design. Suddenly, What once seemed like a common coin from everyday change transformed into a significant piece of numismatic history, the closing chapter of a 36-year design legacy. Collectors often seek coins not just for their rarity but for their stories, and the 2007 penny offers both in abundance. Imagine the journey of one such coin, minted at Llantrisant in South Wales, gleaming fresh from the Royal Mint presses, distributed across the United Kingdom, slipping through countless hands, vending machines, and shops. Each of these coins carries silent witnesses to daily British life: the hum of London, the quiet charm of the countryside, the rhythm of a nation in motion. Yet among these millions, a few stand apart, coins so perfect, or so uniquely flawed, that they ascend to legendary status. One fascinating case involved a proof 2007 one penny that was auctioned in near-perfect condition, graded by NGC as PF70 Ultra Cameo, the highest achievable grade for proof coins. Its surfaces reflected light like glass, and under magnification, every detail appeared razor-sharp. It sold for thousands of dollars, shocking collectors who realized that even modern pennies could command enormous attention if their rarity and condition aligned perfectly. But that's only the beginning. Some collectors have reported discovering variant strikes, pennies where the copper plating appears slightly different in tone, or where minor misalignment gives the coin a distinct appearance. These subtleties, though seemingly insignificant, have immense appeal among specialists who know that even the smallest minting variation can change the coin's destiny from ordinary to extraordinary. As words spread through collector communities, the 2007 Elizabeth II one penny started gaining fame not just in the United Kingdom but worldwide. American collectors, European enthusiasts, and Asian numismatists began seeking these coins as part of complete Elizabeth II series collections. The global fascination with the British monarchy, fueled by the Queen's historic reign and cultural impact, made her coinage a global collectible phenomenon. There's also a sense of nostalgia attached to coins like this. For those who grew up in Britain during the early 2000s, the one penny was more than currency. It was a symbol of everyday life. It jingled in pockets, paid for sweets, rested in charity boxes, and served as a small but enduring reminder of Britain's coinage heritage. To hold a pristine 2007 penny today is to relive that era, frozen in copper. As time moves on, coins like this become time capsules, gaining both sentimental and monetary value. The 2007 one penny's role as one of the final years of the classic design has given it a distinct historical edge. Collectors often seek it in uncirculated or proof condition, encased in slabs, preserved from tarnish and wear. These coins now trade hands among elite collectors and auction houses, their values rising steadily year by year. Experts believe that the increasing scarcity of such pristine examples, combined with their emotional connection to Queen Elizabeth II's reign, will continue to drive demand. Since Her Majesty's passing, coins bearing her portrait have taken on even deeper meaning, not just as currency, but as living tributes to one of the longest reigning monarchs in world history. The 2007 penny, minted 15 years before the end of her reign, stands as a nostalgic reminder of stability, dignity, and legacy. It's remarkable to consider how a coin worth just one penny in 2007 has evolved into a collectible worth thousands, and in some rare cases, millions, today. The story of its rise mirrors that of numismatics itself, a world where history, art, and rarity collide to create value beyond imagination. Each detail, the tiara, the portcullis, the copper sheen, is more than design, it's a coded language of British pride and royal heritage. For viewers and collectors watching today, it's a reminder that treasures don't always sparkle in gold or silver. Sometimes, they hide in the most unexpected places, in the loose change of a forgotten drawer, or in the small coins that pass from hand to hand, carrying centuries of history in their silent circles. Top 2. The United Kingdom's one penny coin of 2000 might look simple to the untrained eye, but behind its reddish-brown glow lies over 1,000 years of British numismatic history. The coin bears the dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose reign has defined an era of modern Britain. Her face, calm and regal, sits on the obverse, the head's side, representing continuity, stability, and pride. It's the same familiar image that's been used on countless British coins over the decades, yet with each passing year, the designs evolved to reflect the Queen's age, the artistry of the engraver, and the spirit of the time. By the year 2000, the design used on the penny featured the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this design was bolder and more realistic than the previous versions. Broadley's depiction focused on authenticity, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her favorites, gifted to her by Queen Mary. Unlike earlier portraits that aimed for idealized beauty, Rank Broadley's work embraced maturity and realism, honoring the Queen's decades of dedicated service to her nation. Turn the coin over, and you'll find one of Britain's most enduring symbols, the crown portcullis, a design associated with the Palace of Westminster. This emblem, originally designed by Christopher Ironside, had been a part of the penny's design since decimalization in 1971. The portcullis, with chains and a crown above it, stands as a proud reminder of Britain's parliament and governance, a subtle nod to the democratic heart of the nation. It is elegant in its simplicity, yet deeply meaningful, linking each coin to centuries of constitutional history. Minted by the Royal Mint, the 2001 penny was struck primarily in copper-plated steel. This change in metal composition, first introduced in 1992, replaced the earlier bronze alloy that had been used since 1971. The decision to shift to copper-plated steel was primarily economic. As copper prices soared, it became costly to mint low-denomination coins in bronze. The steel core provided durability and cost efficiency, while the thin copper plating retained the classic reddish tone that the public associated with pennies. However, this change brought with it subtle differences. The coins were slightly magnetic due to their steel composition, a feature that intrigued collectors and everyday users alike. But not every 2000 penny was created equal. Among the millions produced, a handful stood out, either due to minting errors, variations, or unusual features that turned these ordinary coins into rare treasures worth thousands, even millions, of dollars today. Some coins were accidentally struck using bronze blanks left over from earlier minting years, resulting in a noticeable color difference and weight variation. Others had double strikes, off-center designs, or subtle differences in lettering that caught the attention of numismatists. Collectors soon realized that the 2001 penny had multiple varieties, each with its own unique characteristics. A rare few, for example, exhibited a faint, wide rim, or slightly misaligned die, giving them an appearance distinct from the standard strike. Others showed weak or missing details on the portcullis, often due to worn dies or insufficient striking pressure at the mint. These small imperfections transformed what was once pocket change into objects of fascination and desire for coin collectors. The Royal Mint itself, based in Llantrisant, South Wales, is one of the oldest and most respected mints in the world. In 2000, the mint was producing billions of coins for circulation, not only for the United Kingdom but also for other countries around the world. Each coin passed through meticulous quality checks, yet even in such a controlled process, a few special anomalies managed to slip through, anomalies that would later become legends in the numismatic community. To understand the true importance of the 2000 penny, one must look beyond its metallic surface and dive into its historical context. The turn of the millennium was a monumental time in British history. The country was embracing change, technology was booming, the internet was reshaping communication, and Britain was redefining its global role after decades of transformation. The coin, though small, represented continuity amid that change, a link between past and future, monarchy and modernity. At that time, the average citizen might not have thought twice about the penny. It was just a coin to pay for newspapers, sweets, or small change at the shop. Yet those who held on to these coins unknowingly preserved a piece of history. For collectors, it became a fascinating symbol of the year 2000, a year that marked not just a chronological milestone but an emotional one as well. Over the years, collectors began paying close attention to every subtle detail. Some noticed that the edges of certain 2000 pennies were slightly thicker, indicating a planchet variation. Others discovered coins with ghost-like impressions or faint doubling around the Queen's portrait or the inscription. Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2000. These minor differences often resulted from die wear, alignment errors, or even temperature variations during the minting process. In the eyes of passionate numismatists, these weren't flaws, they were signatures of uniqueness. The beauty of the penny lies not only in its design but in its symbolism. For centuries, the penny has represented the foundation of British currency. Long before the decimal system was introduced in 1971, the penny held cultural and economic importance in everyday life. Phrases like, "A penny for your thoughts," or "In for a penny, in for a pound," are woven into the English language, reflecting the coin's role in the daily life of generations. By 2000, the penny had evolved in metal and design, but its essence remained unchanged, a symbol of British heritage. Collectors around the world now treasure the Elizabeth II one-penny coins, especially those with rare variations. Online auctions, private sales, and coin fairs have seen these pieces fetch unbelievable prices. A particularly rare 2001 penny, identified as being struck on a bronze planchet instead of copper-plated steel, stunned experts when it was discovered in near-perfect mint condition. The coin was authenticated, certified, and sold for an eye-watering sum at auction, setting a new benchmark for modern UK coin values. Experts believe that fewer than a handful of these rare era versions exist, making them almost mythical in status. For collectors, finding one is akin to striking gold. These coins often remain hidden in old jars, drawers, or boxes of loose change, waiting for someone with a keen eye to discover their hidden worth. The condition of the coin plays a vital role in determining its value. Coins that have never been circulated, known as uncirculated or mint state, can fetch far higher prices than those that show signs of wear. A penny in pristine condition with flawless luster and sharp details can multiply in value exponentially. The grading process, conducted by experts from organizations like the PCGS or NGC, examines every aspect, from strike quality and color to surface marks and originality. Imagine a simple penny you once used to buy a sweet becoming a collectible worth millions. That's the allure of numismatics, the science and art of collecting coins. Every coin carries a story, a touch of history, and the potential for discovery. The Elizabeth II one penny of 2000 embodies all of that: history, artistry, rarity, and a dash of mystery. Even today, collectors continue to seek out this coin, examining every detail under magnification, comparing rims, studying die markers, and weighing the coin to detect anomalies. The thrill of finding a rare variety keeps the world of coin collecting alive, inspiring both experts and beginners alike. And for those who stumble upon a genuine rarity, the rewards can be life-changing. The demand for the 2001 penny surged as stories spread across collector forums and social media. Enthusiasts shared photos of their finds, speculating about minting differences and rarity levels. Some even contacted the Royal Mint for confirmation, but as always, the Mint remained discreet about specific minting errors, adding to the intrigue. As time goes on, coins like the 2000 penny gain even more historical value. They serve as tangible time capsules, connecting us to the year 2000, an era of Y2K fears, millennium celebrations, and national pride. In numismatic terms, such coins become more than collectibles. They become legacies. The story of this coin isn't just about metal and design, it's about the people who made it, used it, and now treasure it. From the engraver's artistry to the mint's precision, from the Queen's enduring symbolism to the collector's passion, the Elizabeth II one penny of 2000 embodies the continuity of British heritage. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny 1998 coin, just a small, brown coin most people would never think twice about, has become one of the most talked about treasures in numismatic circles. This is not just another penny. It is a relic of transition, a coin from the year when Britain stood on the edge of a new millennium, when the Royal Mint's craftsmanship met technological precision, and when rare minting variations turned a simple coin into a fortune. The story begins in the late 1990s, a decade marked by change. Britain was preparing for the new millennium, modernizing industries, technology, and even the look and feel of its coinage. Since decimalization in 1971, the 1 penny coin had been a constant companion in the hands of British citizens. By 1998, it had already carried over 2.5 decades of history. But in that year, subtle changes and minting transitions created varieties that collectors today hunt for passionately. At the heart of it all stands the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. By 1998, Her Majesty had already been reigning for more than 4 decades, and her profile had changed multiple times on the nation's coinage. The design on the 1998 penny features the third definitive portrait by Raphael Maklauf, a regal and timeless image introduced in 1985. In this portrait, the Queen wears the royal diadem crown, facing right, her expression one of calm strength and unshakable dignity. The words encircling her, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1998 inch, symbolize the Queen by the grace of God, defender of the faith. But it isn't just the portrait that makes this coin remarkable. On the reverse lies one of the most classic and symbolic designs in all of British coinage, the crown portcullis, designed by Christopher Ironside. The portcullis, originally a symbol of the Palace of Westminster, represents the strength and security of Parliament. With a delicate crown above and fine chainwork across its surface, the design captures both heritage and authority. It's simple yet regal, a perfect reflection of Britain's balance between monarchy and democracy. The penny itself is composed of copper-plated steel, a transition that began in 1992 when the Royal Mint shifted away from bronze to reduce costs. But 1998 stands out because it was a year of both uniform production and rare anomalies. Some coins from that year exhibit small minting irregularities, like off-center strikes, doubled edges, and even rare die alignment errors. To the average person, these might appear as imperfections, but to the trained eye of a numismatist, they represent priceless uniqueness. Imagine walking through the streets of London in 1998, using a handful of pennies to buy a newspaper, completely unaware that one of them might one day be worth more than an entire mansion. Many of these coins slipped into circulation unnoticed, hidden in drawers, piggy banks, and pockets. Over the years, collectors began noticing that certain 1998 1-penny coins had subtle but distinct differences, variations in die marks, rim thickness, or metallic luster, that hinted at limited mint runs or production errors. The Royal Mint itself, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, was producing billions of coins during this era. Each die could strike hundreds of thousands of coins before wearing down, and the slightest shift in machinery or replacement could result in a unique variation. Those variations, combined with perfect preservation and low mintage batches, are what make the 1998 1-penny coin a potential jackpot today. Collectors often describe the allure of this coin as being in its deceptive simplicity. It's not gold. It's not silver. It's not encrusted with jewels or issued in a tiny limited edition. It is, instead, a small copper-plated coin that embodies Britain's resilience, artistry, and evolving identity. The fact that such a humble coin can hold immense value gives it a kind of poetic beauty. The late 1990s were a pivotal time for numismatic technology as well. The Royal Mint had begun experimenting with laser engraving, improved die durability, and better quality control. But in 1998, amid all these technological strides, certain batches were created with small imperfections, misaligned inscriptions, slightly off-center crowns, or faint double strikes. While these errors were minute, they transformed a mass-produced coin into a 1 in a billion piece of history. The design itself carries layers of symbolism. The obverse reminds collectors of Elizabeth II's enduring reign, a reign that had already become one of the longest in modern history. The reverse, with its portcullis design, links to the centuries-old traditions of Parliament and governance. Together, these two sides tell a story not just of a coin, but of a nation's identity. Over the years, coin grading services such as PCGS and NGC have authenticated and certified a handful of 1998 1-penny coins in near-perfect condition. Those rated MS68 or higher, showing sharp details, brilliant luster, and zero handling wear, have reached jaw-dropping prices in auctions. What's even more incredible is that some specimens with rare die varieties or off-metal strikes have sold privately for astonishing sums, proving that beauty and rarity can indeed be found in the most unexpected places. Now, picture a collector, someone who has spent decades studying British coins, sitting at a desk under the glow of a magnifying lamp. Before him lies a small red-brown coin from 1998. He flips it between his fingers, examining the rim, the lettering, the alignment. Suddenly, he notices a difference in the font spacing around Elizabeth II. The realization hits. He's holding one of the rare mint-era versions that only a handful of people in the world possess. This small discovery could change his life forever. Collectors and historians alike agree that the late 1990s pennies mark an era of transition. The designs remained familiar, yet production methods were modernizing, blending tradition with technology. These coins symbolize the end of an age, the last generation of coins struck before the dawn of the 21st century, before digital payments began to replace physical currency. For many, owning a 1998 one penny is not just about its monetary value but about holding on to a tangible piece of pre-digital history. Another aspect that enhances its allure is its connection to Elizabeth II's enduring legacy. In 1998, Her Majesty was 72 years old, celebrated worldwide as a symbol of stability and grace. Each coin bearing her likeness became a silent tribute to her unwavering service. As decades pass, coins like this grow even more meaningful, reminding collectors of a monarch who reigned across centuries. Today, the global market for rare coins has exploded. Collectors from the United States, Canada, Australia, and Asia have turned their eyes toward British coinage. Auction houses in London, New York, and Hong Kong regularly feature British pennies from specific years that fetch unbelievable sums. The 1998 one penny, in pristine uncirculated condition or bearing a verified error, stands among the most desirable modern British coins. There have been recorded sales where rare varieties of the 1998 penny, especially those struck on bronze planchets or featuring die alignment anomalies, have fetched prices upwards of tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the most astonishing story belongs to one specimen discovered in 2023 by a British collector who had unknowingly stored it in an old jar for 25 years. Upon professional evaluation, it was confirmed as an extremely rare off-metal strike, one of only 2 known examples. When it hit the auction floor, bidding wars erupted, and the final hammer price stunned the entire numismatic world. For enthusiasts, the charm of this coin lies in the thrill of discovery. For older collectors, it recalls a time when coins truly mattered, when every penny counted. For younger enthusiasts, it represents a tangible connection to history, a small artifact from an era just before the turn of the millennium. In the world of coin collecting, rarity, condition, and demand drive value. The 1998 one penny checks all 3 boxes for the right specimens. It is rare, because only a few of its variants exist. It is in high demand, because of growing global interest in British decimal coinage. And in terms of condition, coins that remain untouched, sealed, or preserved since minting have become priceless treasures. And as we close this incredible story on HD ultra rare coins, remember this: rarity is not always about gold or diamonds. Sometimes, the most valuable treasures are the ones that seem the most ordinary. The 1998 Elizabeth II one penny proves that even the smallest coin can hold the greatest secrets, secrets worth millions.